Cougar Sports Saturday here on KSL News Radio. Mitch Harper, Matt Baiamonte. Texas 57500. Do you agree with Matt's list of the 5?
How could you not?
Must
What's missing from
on 4th of July? You know,
Settlers of Catan?
I was going to ask you, Matt, what's your stance on just getting a pack of fireworks from like Black Cat, like at the tent? Were you ever that person?
I was. I have been that person before. I'm not totally anti. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's honestly not that fun. And then there's like a huge risk. You could blow a finger off. You could burn your house down.
I remember being traumatized. I think it was like 9 or 10. Remember those fireworks where they just like you light them, and then the person that just kind of reckless like just lights it in his hand and then just throws it out there.
Yes.
And it's like just sit on the ground. And it's lighting up different colors. Well, one of those like kicked out towards me. I'm sitting on the grass like, whoa, almost went up my face. And I was like, okay, I'm not a big firework fan anymore. I just want to go watch them at a park or something. So you don't see
the city parks, like, this is not a knock on the city parks. So if anyone is listening.
Okay, we can't all go to Stadium of Fire, Matt.
But if you can't get in, first off, you can always get in. I'm a byproduct of that. Because when the tickets go on sale, you buy the tickets. It's not rocket science. They go available, you buy a ticket. It's not that hard. There's a wide variety of price points, and there's a lot of seats. If you're one of those people who can't get in, guess what? There's a lot of places to sit around Stadium of Fire. A lot. You can go up by the MTC. There's those fields that just got ripped up by BYU's football camp. Like, there's a lot of places to take in. And also, guess what? The audio, it's pretty dang loud at the football stadium, so you're going to get close to the same experience right outside the gates that you would on the inside. So you can always you might need to do that this year. And you know what is also quite fun about going to Stadium of Fire but not getting in is then you can like plan around. You get this fantastic meal. Like maybe you get some desserts and you're like snacking on cookies and treats while you're waiting for the fire. It's fun, man. You're missing out. This is the year. If your wife is listening, scrap the Murray fireworks show. No offense. No, but the main event is down in Provo. Go check that thing out.
Provo does do it right when it comes to 4th of July. You know what else is being done right is the BYU basketball program. Kevin Young, this rocket ship continues to just take off. And the latest news for Kevin Young and this program, they hired Director of Player Development, Jordan Brady, a former G League head coach. Think about that for a second. A G League head coach is a Director of Player Development at BYU basketball. BYU basketball learned who they will play in the Big 12 coming up this season. And, Matt, I think it's a pretty favorable draw compared to most of the Big 12 teams. BYU's 20-game Big 12 schedule, I think, is pretty reasonable, all things considered.
Yeah, I love that you're getting Kansas, too. I think there was a big concern. Look, tip of the cap to the Big 12, Mitch, because that was such a fun, competitive game. You got to believe Jayhawk fans, Bill Self, all of Kansas University, they want to get revenge. And it was fair to send Kansas back to Provo. It would have been ridiculous to not have them play again. Maybe there's a little something there down the road. We'll have to see. That place is going to be packed when Kansas comes to the Marriott Center. I think that is great that they got the Jayhawks coming to Provo.
BYU's teams, opponents that they'll face home and away include Arizona. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Arizona State, Cincinnati, West Virginia, and rival Utah. So the Big 12 maintaining that BYU-Utah rivalry, giving it 2 games. First time that's going to happen since 2011 when the 2 teams were in the Mountain West Conference. The home-only teams, Baylor, Kansas, as you mentioned, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Texas Tech. Texas Tech's the thorn in BYU's side. They got to get a win over the Red Raiders. And then away only, UCF, Colorado, Houston, Iowa State, and TCU. Again, I think you look at the away games in particular, Houston, Iowa State, Arizona, they were NCAA tournament teams. TCU, too, they got ousted in the round of 64, but pretty light on the road schedule. They avoid Lubbock. They avoid Lawrence. They avoid Waco, Manhattan. I like this draw that BYU got in this Big 12 slate.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging for sure, but you love the home draw because those are some games that just look at last year. Like, could you win at Kansas again 2 years in a row? Probably not.
Matt, we are going to enjoy that home schedule and think, man, remember those days, Matt, when you and I were sitting in a COVID empty arena and it's BYU and Pacific.
Oh man,
those days are gone, man.
What's the GIF where there's the upgrade button?
Yeah,
this personifies
a little bit of an upgrade there. That's for sure. BYU basketball though continues to roll and win this offseason. Now they got the task of trying to win those games coming up this winter on the schedule. More with BYU football coming up after the break. Hour number 3. We'll get that started here on Cougar Sports Saturday, powered by KSL Sports.